Hello and welcome to Bharata First. I'm Frank Rausen Pereira. You are watching UPSC Corner, a show where I discuss all things UPSC. Since you are here, I would like to thank you for your continued support. For those of you who haven't already subscribed, please subscribe, hit the bell icon, and then notifications. Do follow our social media handles for all the latest updates, and you can also subscribe to our weekly newsletter to get some incisive content. The Bharata First team is also running a daily quiz. The winner will get a chance to interview me on a program called Hot Seat. Details are in the description of this video. There is also a contribution link for those of you who would like to come forward and contribute to keep this content alive. Remember that any kind of contributions that you make will ensure that it helps us a great deal. Do continue to show your love and support because I need it now more so than ever. Today, I have a very special guest on the program. He is a young IAS of the Haryana cadre. He secured the third rank in UPSC CAC 2017. He is now posted as the SDM at Ambala. It is my pleasure to welcome on UPSC Corner Sachin Gupta. सचिन नमस्ते स्वागत है आपका भारता फर्स्ट पे वेलकम टू भारता फर्स्ट इट्स रियली अ प्लेजर टू हैव यू हियर
Namaste, Frank, and congratulations to you for your new initiative for UPSC aspirant.
थैंक यू चलिए शुरुआत करते हैं हम पर्सनालिटी टेस्ट से पर्सनालिटी टेस्ट तो अभी बहुत ही जल्दी शुरू होने वाले हैं आपको आपके पर्सनालिटी टेस्ट के बारे में याद है कुछ
Yes, I still remember. It's one of my most memorable time, and it is because you met with such good people for half an hour, and they take you right in different domains, and that itself is experience.
so what was most unique about your personality test what is the one memory that you can always reflect upon हमेशा जो याद आता है
I think more it's more about the journey part, that how I prepared about the personality test, and then the way I prepared the discussion groups, and the small things that that was the time that every single news, and we used to Google it, what is all in that, and even the minutest details. Then preparing questions, that what kind of questions board can ask, then even follow-up questions, that if my answer is this, what kind of question can they ask next. And it actually helps a lot, which uh, I was so happy with, because when I was giving my interview, there's a lot of things that clicked right away, because when I was giving my answer, uh, somewhere I was expecting that that would be the next question, that would be the next question, and it happened. There were two three questions in which it happened. The one was, they asked me about AI, that how it will impact jobs in the country, and there's already crunch. So I prepared that answer. Then the next question, the next question was the same that I thought that they will ask. So those kinds of memory always give me a sense of uh, in a way, that motivation to work more work harder, because interview is the most unpredictable thing that can go anyway, because right now also we are sort of an interview, it can go anyway. So that also, with hard work, I made sure that it will go in that particular direction. So right now also, for the aspirants, prepare hard, go for more and more discussion groups, and start having a conversation, not interview with your friends, start having conversation on particular topic, ask questions with to each other, uh, whether it is on phone or anything, that okay, this is the question, you have answered this, so what do you think about this, what do you like, we do in interview boards. So that helps a lot.
so the questions that were asked to you by the board Were they mainly from the DAF? Were they mainly current affairs? Were they mainly how much of the questions came from the DAF, if you can remember, and how much was on current affairs, and how much was on everything that was happening around you?
It's a good mix. I would say that my interview started with my previous service, Indian Corporate Law Service. So there was a great. They asked me in great detail about the Satyam scam and how the Ministry of Corporate Affairs evolved after it. The act was passed. So that was that part. Then they asked about current affairs also, that AI and the new technologies. Then they again came back to my DAF, my agriculture. My family background is agriculture, so they asked me about it. Then the farmer issues. Then in the end, they asked me about the international affairs, the relation between India and Maldives, and relation between India and Sri Lanka. That was some news going on at that point of time. So it was a good mixture, and that's how they ask also. But I have found out that they try to judge you by asking questions in different domains, so that they will be able to gauge that what kind of how you approach in different situations. So that's my observation in my two interviews.
And what about optionals? Optional subject, was there any question related to your what was your optional?
My option was anthropology, and I don't remember they have they asked anything from anthropology. I don't remember.
Okay, and was the board cordial? Was the board trying to put you in a difficult position, difficult spot? How was it?
I think that was the I've given views, and in first interview I've done blunders that I defended few things that went wrong, and still they gave me enough opportunity to express myself. And in second interview, though something like that wouldn't happen, but they gave me enough opportunity to express myself in whatever I want to convey, what are my thoughts. And as far as I have discussed with my friends, with my batchmates, board's experience is unique, and it's very very cordial and very memorable, because and they already treat you like an officer, because when you enter they know that it's you're almost there. It just here or there some marks, एक ethics के paper में numbers ज़्यादा आ गए ऐसे में ऊपर नीचे, and that how it makes a difference. But you're capable enough that if you're giving interview, so you're capable enough to reach that stage. So they treat you very cordially.
Right. So let's move on from the personality test now and talk about prelims as well, because there are lakhs of aspirants who want to write the examination every year, all of them wanting to get into an all India service and do something for the country. What was your strategy like when you were preparing for the prelims? How long ago did you decide, okay, fine, कि 2 साल में मुझे prelims देने हैं types? What was your strategy? How did you approach it?
I think that we shouldn't plan for 2 years or 3 years. If I have to give prelim, then I have to give my next prelims, not an year after also. Because what I personally feel, that because when you are giving because it's not that you will prepare for 2 years and then you will give an attempt, because that hampers your preparation strategy. Because if I'm planning for 2 years, then there's a lot of laziness in me कि अरे बहुत time पड़ा, I'll do it. Because it happened with me. Because when I was in college, I thought in second year I thought that I'll start preparing. In third year I prepared, but the peak of preparation has reached earlier. And then when I was in final year, I thought I can't prepare more, because and there's still a year to go. So I would say that start with your full force when you're going to give in your next year. And 1 year is more than enough. I would say that 1 year is more than enough to prepare. And yes, there might be failures, there might be up and downs. I have given 3 attempts, so there will be failures, but you shouldn't take your the target should be challenging rather than just making it so comfortable that it looks that कर लूँगा मैं कोई बात नहीं कर लूँगा, because that hampers your preparation level. And also the 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 zeal in which you prepare also. So in that I firmly believe that you give whenever you start preparation, you shall give in a year or so. And then that's how you prepare that, like in 6 months I will be covering all the subjects. So I'll make the schedules that by that time I should be able to cover that. By that time I should be able to cover that. So that's how I would uh, think that the aspirant should go for it.
So where should they start? What was your start? Where did you start? Was it with the newspapers? Was it with books? Did you have a mentor? Did you have someone guiding you? How was the journey?
So, no, starting the preparation, I started with the newspapers. So, the first thing, I feel that you start reading newspapers, that what is going on in the world. Initially, everything goes above your head if you're not reading newspapers from your childhood. So that happened with me also. I still remember for reading newspaper, I used to spend 5 hours because कुछ समझ ही नहीं आता था. I used to Google it everything कि what is the background of this, what is the background of this. So, but after 2 3 months, you get a fair idea, and also the various classes you take. So that's how you prepare a basic framework that the international organizations that India stand is this, that how other countries stand is this. So in even in the national framework, the directive states of principle is this, then government is going in that way, that various judgment, and that's how basically you start. I started, and then afterwards, then I would say my mentor was my father. That right from my starting, he guided me in my every endeavor, even when I fall. So he was the person that, don't worry, you are doing very good. So yes, you need one person who keeps you motivated and also make you feel that you are doing good, because failures, when you have to come back from failures, you have to gain your confidence. So so you need someone. It can be anyone, your father, your mother, your brother, your sister, your friend, anyone, your teacher. So that's how
Absolutely.
you prepare. Uh, and so journey has up and downs, because everyone has it. And for the experience also, don't lose your heart with one failure, and don't think that you are the top of the world even if you have successfully cleared with AIR 1. So everything fall in line for everyone with time. Given a situation, you keep working hard and keep yourself motivated for doing good.
Absolutely. And apart from newspapers, apart from some of the your day, what was it like? Especially when you're doing your prelims, how would you divide your day? How would you segregate time? Did you dedicate time to do one particular thing in a day? How did you break it up?
So firstly, there is a disclaimer, because the strategy has to be one's own. Don't, matlab, I'm telling my strategy, but think that if it is comfortable with you, or you are able to prepare by that or not. So my strategy was that I used to give half day for my optional and half day for my prelims, and that too I try to make a schedule that, let's say, in this week I will be covering this much area of topic. So it could be two subjects. Let's say, if one of the topic is very tough, then I'll take another subject which is my favorite. So that's how I combine two subjects, so that I won't get bored while studying. And then I make my target such a way that in a week I have to work for 6 days only. So, and I'll keep my targets very challenging. So whatever is left in a particular day, I will be covering on the last day, that Sunday. So what happened with that is, it gives me an incentive also to cover my everything in that particular day only. Because if I'm covering it, then I have a Sunday free. I can do anything. I can go for cooking. I can go for movie. I can do anything. But if I'm not able to go, then I'll cover in that. So it helps in both ways. Firstly, incentivizing you to cover everything in a particular day, and also gives you an opportunity on the last day of the week to cover up the gaps, and so that your whole schedule of month or 2 months won't get affected, because you know that you have a day free, you will be able to cover on that day. So that's how I prepared. And everyone should discover their own ways, because I have known people that they have prepared in very different ways, that they are successful.
So each one should have a strategy of their own, a strategy that works for them, and that's the only way to do it
Yes.
well and do it in the right way. And so let's also talk about any books that you would like to recommend, or any kind of books that you are reading specifically for certain things, to cover issues like, say, for instance, Indian culture, maybe, or do you believe that NCRT books are the right way to study, at least initially? What would you suggest?
So, no, first thumb rule is NCRTs. So one has to cover NCRTs no matter what good kind of material is going on in the market, no matter what that NCRTs are the basic thing from which even paper is set. A lot of things come directly from the NCRT. So NCRTs are the best. After that, you have to go for add-ons. Let's say you feel like you're not comfortable in a particular area, you feel like that I need to read something more to get more confidence. Let's say for polity, Lakshmikant, for history, Spectrum, for geography, I relied on only on NCRTs. Uh, uh, Rest, I still don't remember all the topics right now.
No problem. Yeah, of course. So NCRT books are definitely a good place to start, and that is a must. And
That is
after that, you can always go for add-ons.
add-ons, and also the questions after each chapter, so they're very good. Even the class 10th question and class 12th questions are very challenging. When you go for writing answers for them from UPSC perspective, it gives you a lot of new dimensions to think also. And there are few questions which are directly asked by UPSC. I've seen there are 2 3 questions which are directly linked what UPSC asked in last year when I was preparing. So NCRT is a must.
So since we are talking about answer writing, let's talk about some, essay writing and the mains and all of that also, because many people find this essay writing very challenging and very difficult, and they say that they find it very hard to do this. So is there something that you think that they should follow, maybe a technique, or maybe how should they approach the mains and especially essay writing and lengthy answers?
So, no, especially essay. Essay is one's own way of writing answers or writing an essay, because there's some people who are very good in expression. For example, I'm not. So I always go for choosing sort of essays which are more subjective, more objective in a way that writing an essay on education sector in India or some related to that area, because I know that I know a lot of facts. I'll quote various reports and try to go for my arguments what I feel that on that particular topic. So there are philosophical essays that some people are very good in that. You have to have very good expression like we read in newspapers. There's a very good sort of writing flair. So one should know their own strength and weaknesses. So I always know that I'm not good in those philosophical essays. I never try to attempt it also. So I go for those kind of essays which I feel that I will be able to justify myself. So in that way, essay writing is one thing which has to be one's own and based upon one's own strengths and weaknesses. And then rest of the topics are more objective. If I take right from GS paper 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 is bit subjective. 1, 2, 3 is completely objective. Matlab one can prepare 100%. Matlab for each topic, the kind of question UPSC asks, the topics which are given, you need to have a good 200, 300 words answer with you, or a short note with you, which you can use in a way whatever UPSC asks. So in that way, the rest of the topics are completely objective, and uh, in that, the basically there is a structure that you introduce the topic with historical data or current affair or some kind of report or something like that, and then you go for your arguments 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you even give the another side of story 1, 2, 3, 4, and you conclude that it's a multidimensional way. And so that's how uh, GS answers are more structured and more predictable. And then ethics and essays one thing that where you have to apply a certain sort of your own way of writing answers.
And how much of this answer writing should you include your own opinion? That better, or do you quote somebody else and then make a strong point? Would that be better? What would you suggest?
I think whatever the arguments you are giving above, your opinion in that way, in line with that, whatever if there is some uh, judgment or something, World Bank opinion or anything, any government agency, international agency has their opinion, you must quote that. So there's a mixture of both, because you're arguing on particular aspect of a topic, it your conclusion has to be in line, or your starting has to be in line with that. So however, what I used to do, that I try to show both the aspects of a question that I, am not able to remember. But what I used to do, firstly, I used to give my one hand of whatever it is asking, whether it is elucidate, discuss, or critically analyze. I used to give one aspect of that answer, and then I used to argue it another side also, that no, it is not the whole world. This is 1 2 3. Then I used to conclude in a way that there are both ways, that there are both the dimensions, so we have to etc. So quotation is important. Obviously, I always go for quotation, but that should be in line with the answer that you are writing.
Absolutely. All right. So let's move on from preparations and all of those aspects now, because it was some time ago, and it's let's talk about what you're presently doing and how the journey post the preparations and once getting into this service, the training period and all of that. Let us talk about the training period and how that was.
So, in one word, it's amazing. So, the training itself gives you a lot of experience, in a way that you are exposed with different uh, uh, people that who have worked in, who have mastered in different domains. So you got to know about their way of thinking, then policy making, how the are made, and then the behavioral aspects in policy making and implementation. Then you get to meet a lot of people around the country, and you are able to build it. Basically, build is not the right word, but maturity of opinions. It comes because when you meet a lot of people, there are different ways of thinking. You try to understand, yes, there is a different world view also. It's not, even if you have read tons of books or the hundreds of newspaper, that's not the whole world. There is a different thought process lying at the ground with different people. So you have to take that also in uh, the consideration, and that helps a lot while you are working as policy implementation agency. Like, so you understand that there are, yes, there are different opinions, so one should take care about that also. There are practical aspects that one shouldn't turn a blind eye.
So
So
how did you feel when you went to Lavasna? What was the first feeling like when you finally got there? Because it must have been like a dream come true.
yes, definitely, when you enter Labasna, you feel like that's what I was aspiring for. And the most important thing that I remember is the badge, the people you meet there, the faculty. So everything is so warming, and then the atmosphere itself is so uh, enjoyable, that you feel like, I still feel like going back to Labasna for some time, and then enjoying that period again. So yes, it is one of the most memorable times. Yes, and then you get a much needed break after you're preparing so hard for 2 3 years, and then you get a much needed break, uh, where you get to do a lot of sports activities, then marathons, and a lot of things that builds your personality that you haven't done till now. They're like, for myself, I've learned, I've taken participation in every activity, be it the cultural program, sports activity, and I'm even painting, everything which I haven't done in my whole life. So that's how that training period evolves you in different aspect that you haven't done.
And finally, Sachin Gupta, let's also talk about the service itself. You've been allotted a cadre. You joined the cadre. You're doing extremely well as well. Take us through that journey too.
So, so I've joined Haryana, and it's an amazing card. So when I joined, it's so warming when you join, and everyone calls you for a dinner or something, and they gives you their stories, that what they have done when they were SDMs, deputy commissioners in different parts of the Haryana. So, and what is going on in the Haryana per se, in developmental aspect, social indicators, but how they are trying hard to improve that, especially the success of Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao in the whole state, and sex ratio. So, Even while working on the ground, so preparation is one thing, and the experience of implementing in one thing, and it's incredible. When you are on the ground, you feel like, yes, even small instance makes you feel uh, a sense of belongingness. That yes, something I've done, that it gives you a lot of satisfaction in the evening. Yes, I've done something good. Yes, it will help that kind of people. Even if one road is going to build, if sewage system, that garbage collection, that even that small things that gives you a lot of sense of belongingness to the place also. Even you haven't been to that place for your whole life, but the kind of recognition that people gives you, that and people remembers also. So that's how the kind of experience that service gives you.
Absolutely. It's amazing. And you know, the key word there is satisfaction. I think the kind of satisfaction that you get for working for your country and working for your motherland is just something else, and it transcends anything else that comes in the way.
That's true. That's true. That's There's something that it comes from inside. It's nothing that when you do something, even if nobody recognizes it, so you feel like that, yes, this is something that will have a long term impact. That this will bring something to the people. So yes, that's
Absolutely. And finally, before I let you go, Sachin, a word of advice to young aspirants who are waiting to follow in your footsteps and maybe become one more Sachin Gupta another day to carve their own path and to do something for their own country as well. Final message that you would like to send out to everyone.
So first thing is that be yourself. You don't have to become Sachin Gupta or anyone else. So you be yourself. You are unique one made by the God. So be yourself and find out your own strengths and weaknesses and work on that. Never go for blindly going for some advices that yes, that person has done that and then he got successful. It's nothing like that. It's your own success, uh, and it will come with your own strengths and weaknesses, and you have to uh, you have to give your edge to your strengths so that it will overpower your weaknesses. So that's how you need to prepare and know thyself. That's the only thing. It's about the preparation. Know thyself. If you know yourself, the preparation is half over. The rest of the thing is just to ensure consistency and hard work. So everything will fall in line.
All right, Sachin Gupta, we'll have to leave to that. Thank you so much for joining me on UPSC Corner on Bharata First. A pleasure having you on the program.
Thank you so much, Frank. Thank you.
Well, with that, I'll call it a wrap. But like Sachin has already said, remember to be yourself, prepare your own strategies, work hard, and nothing can stop you. I will also give you a tip. But first, let me once again thank you for your continued support. For those of you who haven't already subscribed, please subscribe, hit the bell icon, and then all notifications to follow our social media handles as well to get all the latest information as to what we are doing. You can also subscribe to our weekly newsletter where we have theme based newsletters coming out every week so that you are better informed. The Bharata First team is also running a daily quiz. The winner will get to interview me in a program called Hot Seat, where there will be a role reversal. I will not be asking the questions, but I will be doing the answering of those questions. The details are all in the description of this video. There is also a contribution link for those who would like to come forward and contribute and keep the content alive. And my tip now, I would say give it your best shot. For every issue, have 10 key words and 5 key sentences. Weave these into your answers, both written or verbal, and half your work is done. Remember to always be confident and keep smiling because that will take you a long way. This is Frank Rausen Pereira signing off. Until next time, take care. Bye bye.